long refused, desire for death has come to care. For conscience dies not self-confessed, like death found bond with innocence, like friendship dies with competition, desire with possessiveness. It's called the fallibility jig. Old Tom and Jim thought democracy gave the greatest good to the most of folk, but could capitalists foresee 99% in wage slavery still? Oh, when really big ideas fail, they really fail big. There ain't no call to weep and wail doing the fallibility jig. Old Henry Ford thought and thought till at last he figured out how to channel the blast. Saved us all so much time and fuss, but the last horse laugh is on us. Oh, when really big ideas fail, they really fail big. But ain't no cause to weep and wail doing the fallibility jig. It's probably got more first. The Sea-Watch. The Sea-Watch slows his torch swing, scooching. He calls his babies porch swing, smooching. But memory's salubrious pain is muffed in pot clouds once again. His heart's put off in epic rum compact with time. Must forego desires, delights to earn what sum it takes art's master to know. Above the skies devoid of suns, except when countless pinprick ones, the life that left them years ago. And patience won't dawn as advent's slow. It's called a firestorm. Here half the sky is a smoke black night that sports a small orange sun, and half's a breezy noontime bright where orange black flurries run. Up 3 flights lugging garden hose, I to apartment rescue yank. Also some verse, the life I chose, the box of porn and yank my wank. But first, the far leaves fire flakes I douse. When to the roof ascends, the dancers from 4G who raise the door, but luck on funds depends. Just back from class in leotard, picking twining slinks, she brings 2 pitchers and starts looking hard at my same task. And pouring things. Glow, little glowworm, glimmer, glimmer. Shine, little showworm, shimmer, shimmer. This is called Toby Lab. Looks like we've got a black and brown dog girl who once moaned the black and blue dog rule, but since we brought her home, she croons harmonies with sirens flying to emergencies. 99%. The 99% of the consumer shills, client dupes, patron marks, patient test subjects are captive market of the 1%. Yes, we in the U.S., 99% don't get no out to buy the 4 that we get freedom, rights, attrition, we get downsized, big fat, outsourced, we get defunded and underemployed. Some paragon of animals, some crown of creation. I'm sorry. There, don't get bummed out. We ain't no we ain't no blank slates. Identities matter. We are equal to our gifts, and hope is rational. I'm getting tired.
Okay, now let's go. Give him a nice round, please. Okay, that's all. One of the things I like saying is when you come up here, read those poems, don't hold back. What's the point of holding back?
Yeah.
I mean, why bother doing that? What could you possibly gather and garner from doing that? Sally?
Yeah?
Can you give this to Claire? Can you put the name of the poem like that? And then I have to get it back because that's going to be how I decide. Mr. V.I.N.
No, that's
Jimmy.
my vehicle identification.
Oh, Jimmy Vin. I like that. Jimmy Vin. Give that no respect.
Hello. Hi. I don't want to say this too clearly, so if I say this any clearer, I'll probably get more dissent.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
This is a poem. This is not a poem. This is a poem, a work in progress. I don't know what it is, but it's called "The Future of War." We announced that earlier. Yes, of course you did. Okay then, but you did not say it would include the end of mammalia. I beg your pardon. Not granted. You should get no greater or better pardon than the average black man in Alabama. Well, Castle Rock was necessary, I must say aside. Castle Rock was the formation of the Ukrainian bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Uranium, something like that.
Something like that. What was his name?
To reach the end of life on the planet, well, DARPA is the prerequisite research in order to couple together the forces of preemptive strikes. Well, you mean presumptive, don't you? And, of course, with collateral damages, blowback, and unintended consequences, which would not be our fault. Irrelevant. Oh, Mama, Mother Earth. All consequences are probabilities. The indiscriminate terror being your most likely. The main reason you bomb weddings, hospitals with droves of drones, all radio controlled by video game methodology using the latest computer technology. You get offset strategy, stealth tech. Plus, we have created the techno-supremacy of the super soldier in secret, mind you. An aside, in 1989, the wall came down. Defectors from Russia told us that Russia had biowarfare freaks, and there were no biologists working at the Department of Defense. So now comes Superman. That is, soldiers with no bleeding, no pain, and high cognitive skills, but not quite robotic. Robotic soldiers are planned later. Right now, they'll all be using autonomous weapons that may be sent to kill a person with limited artificial intelligence, or AI, which could also mean artificial idiocy.
We already got that.
The transhumanism, this is called, is a neuroprosthetic brain implant, just like a pacemaker or a cochlear implant, which they now have, to correct what you hear. I mean, for the ear. Artificial neurons are for the cerebellum, or the cerebellum. In the future, all wars will be fought by robots and drones and hunter-killer auto ants with killer DNA sending RNA-sized death pellets into cities. We have to learn to love and trust our robots in order to make them work for us. So be nice to your robot. Narrative networks that inspire bringing oxytocin, that is the trust chemical, to the brain will accelerate this mode of operation. Los Alamos is building an artificial brain using the most powerful computer in the world to power it. Every little pathway will be mapped. Why don't you go over there and trade yours in? This is a short drive for a new brain, chock full of neuro sensors that might keep your genius alive forever. You won't even need to sleep. You won't feel or no pain. And your platelets will stop bleeding, any bleeding, as soon as you get shot or stabbed or run over. You will have 3 billion plus 120 program managers plus their staffs and the anti-pain vaccine in your packet. So you could suffer in personal oblivion. You won't even remember it. You could even outrun a bicycle and outswim any dolphin. You will have 1/2 spiders that can run or swim like 36 or 15 miles per hour and be able to launch nano versions of yourself to do your bidding. They have new contractors. These are work employed by corporations who apply logic to all the programs and now have been replaced by in-house science board, which is representative of the military industrial corporations to decide which of these programs to manufacture. The people haven't heard of this because they don't want us to know what they're doing. Thus you would be Wonder Woman at best to their child of God. And we, the rest of us, would be ants with the big boot looming over us in a constant state of twilight until night finally falls.
Mr. Mankind, no one,
Bring everybody up.
Bring it on, that's what I said, right?
no one will know.
Orwell. Let me upset. Sorry, no, wait a minute.
I'm so sorry.
Oh. I gotta get her.
You said movie AI?
John Rose before Stephanie, then Owen, then Louis, then Steve, Reeves, and Richard, and Al. Give them a round of applause, please. Bring them all. Warm it up. Warm it up.
John who?
Stephanie.
Rhodesia.
Are you a Rhodes scholar?
No, I'm a gentleman without a dollar.
You're a what?
I mean a scholar. I have these paintings here. They are just standing up for no reason. If anybody would like one, I'd be thrilled. Now this poem, I have to make a joke with it, would probably be best read by Jimmy while he held his tongue.
Yeah, I would hold it while I listen.
Because the poem is called Cut Tongues. And let's see if I can do it justice, because Jimmy would actually be better at reading this. Cut tongues. Imagination is a tool which the intellect should not fool. The disabled use it as a tool to nurture the skills that are not always learned in schools. The teacher often abuses the inner child, he being the stepson who is unimaginatively defiled. After waiting in line mile by mile, he gets told, "We can't accept you." In this way, the teacher imitates the artful dodger in style. This artful dodger then often steals his student's pie and shares it with his pirate friends, who have made the plans of mice and men go awry. This art room slowly turns into an unimaginative kidnapper's cove, where the secrets of abuse are silenced and bitter pills are ingested by droves. As when in ancient Venice tongues were cut, so patent secrets were never heard. And as when King Tut was silenced eternally in his tomb, where he hid the secrets of the womb, no meat was dined on, only dry loaves. The patient's nurses nursed the curses. There was no need to dry tears now, because the secrets had already been pried, and those guilty of their own imagination have been prosecuted and tried. Thank you.
Thank you, John Rose. And now, Miss Stephanie Manning will be coming forward with the mic around, please. I noticed you already filled out the card. Why is this person?
John Rhodes is the same height as me. Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect.
Next week is E.E. Cummings' birthday. I think he's going to be 121 or something like that. Born in the 1890s.
He's old for his age.
Yeah, and he wrote all those wonderful poems in the 20s, his best ones, 20s and 30s and a little 40s and so on, but mostly 20s.
Oh, Lord.
And here's one called Anyone Lived in a Pretty How Town. Anyone lived in a pretty how town, with up so floating many bells down. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. He sang his didn't, he danced his did. Women and men, both little and small, cared for anyone not at all. They sowed their isn't, they reaped their same. Sun, moon, stars, rain. Children, yes, but only a few, and down they forgot as up they grew. Autumn, winter, spring, summer, that no one loved him more by more, when by now and tree by leaf, she laughed his joy, she cried his grief. Bird by snow and stir by still, anyone's any was all to her. And someone's married their everyone's, laughed their cryings and did their dance. Sleep, wake, hope, and then they said their nevers, they slept their dream. Stars, rain, sun, moon, and only the snow can begin to explain how children are apt to forget to remember with up so floating many bells down. One day anyone died, I guess, and no one stooped to kiss his face. Busy folk buried them side by side, little by little, and was by was, all by all, and deep by deep, and more by more, they dream their sleep. No one and anyone, earth by April, wish by spirit, and if by yes, women and men, both dong and ding, summer, autumn, winter, spring, reaped their sowing and went their king, sun, moon, stars, rain.
Bravo! He was one of the first poets I really liked because, I mean, I just like how this is crazy. I loved it. It was like,
Yeah, he does a wonderful poem about himself.
And no capsules.
yeah.
Clear all blue man.
Taught my English teacher.
Yeah.
Owen Knuckle before Louis, then Dean Breeze, then Richard. So Owen, come on up here. And I know we have a few people who came in after the sign-up went on, so I've left spaces for those individuals since we're going to be continuing on after the break. So please be advised, I will point you in place.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sonnet, Mother's Birthday. The wind flowed me along my tortuous way toward the phenomenon of wards. The dynamo called Market Street, among the beggars beseeching shoppers anon. A subdued Halloween, cards for mother, of course. Not tardy to her, thrifty Scorpio, the throng. I almost jogged by in a hurry, stopping by the post office, half filled with quietude. I scurried back to the library, half thrilled. Another hard, sharp Wednesday eve. Not face to face. I only believe. Royster. Faldy roll, sing we sup. We sing in our cups, we dance, we dance. To this, promise to bring us the waves and waters of our dark Savior. We love passion's need for forever hosannas. The muse can make me lonely. Obsequies buzz around the forest like old trees of appropriate seasons. I wake to the bark of the beasts of wood. Clouds speak of expanding storm after storm. Terrible beauty to make a careful christening of autumn. As I walk around the always new experience of trying to please the noisy jungle refrain of the exaltation of moods. Spring. Spring trajectory cake sails sour forth, clouds flock the sky, the miracle maid swimming, born to be alive, cancer sticks. Please, peace, you seem so fine and full. The wan ways foretell the future. Beg now, pay later. He left the place to God. And the seashells sing to their motley wives, river donor cactus, and sing my last syllables, beg the air for more. The trajectory the wind tells you, feel them. The end is near 2 more times. Death of the maiden, last till dawn. Palms. Only the chatting midnight rain beats down from its sultry showers. It rates a unicorn upon its sultry towers. Chimes from its nocturne time and again. Wetting its lips upon my eaves of pain. Its cold branches tell of the hours. Laughter and lust become ill. Sour is the bleak covenant we call the sea. Gods and princes all begat. A nimby-voiced goat-bearded boy. Odysseus set sail, we never sat along your passions and penance. Destroy the harp of plenty we plucked through the day standing. Bid the sun adieu. Two. Scriptured wisdom we dwell upon, honors ripen the world we walk. She's the many ways, the tortuous paths, we guide our way through the differences, the thrusting boughs, interstices, myth-like branches, hogs, periwinkles, bogs, periwinkles, the trough of sudden greed. Hog-like thrusts at innocence, sirens at last, the quiet rose, nodding light, milkwood, a ground holy shrine, paths open. An hour ahead, a worth-long sight, a day-long stour. Metaphors pass by. Images like flowers that droop in the desert, an alternative to our holy God, struck a radical, swift, terrible, swift blow. Whippoorwill, will-o'-the-wisp blank in the firelight of roses, sparrows mock and cross each other in the huge, dank, dark sky of pain that drank the iron draught. The albatross we court like cavaliers that toss the caber, the hand down to the tank that can drown all our sorrows, and our fright that doth travail out to the heavens, the narrows of the barren riviera our minds do avail. Our thin arms of love and dismay, sunny skies are barren, a mind iron gray. Thank you very much.
One of the most engaged poets I know of. I mean, he shows up at all the open mics. He's always there. Thank you so much. Welcome. Jimmy, if you do that, I'm going to be upset. All right, Louis Martin, come up here before Dean Breeze, who had
It's him.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Keep the cards and letters coming.
With him.
Or something else.
Who's the rest?
Anybody can't hear me, to put it the other way?
Oh,
Yes, somebody out there can't hear me. This is a piece I wrote called Beware Techie at Table for San Francisco Restaurant and Dining Guide. My daughter says it's a bit too bitter, but her friend says, no, it's right on. So you can judge. The question is whether I can see it or not. It's not printed very well.
You need reading glasses? What about
Yeah, I do, but I'll go with my own and see what happens.
all right.
It's been a long time, and now the youngsters are running the restaurant business in San Francisco. It's not only citizen journalist news, but ditto restaurant news and reviews. And on Yelp, the typical review goes something like this. Hey dude, this place sucks. Or, hey dude, this place is fucking awesome. There is nothing in between, and the culinary details are totally lacking. San Francisco Restaurant and Dining Guide and other restaurant guides used to provide the details along with background information on restaurants, but that is not the style these days. Now the guiding principle is to quickly lavish praise on a restaurant or lay waste to it while using certain overly used phrases and words such as, hey dude, fucking, and awesome. The carefully written restaurant review is now a thing of the past. And there have been many changes of restaurant personnel. For instance, Tony is retired and is no longer behind the bar at Le Central. But then, what youngster cares about Le Central anymore? Sure, ex-mayor Willie Brown can still be seen in a window dining with his well-heeled friends, but then who the hell cares about what a person wears anymore? In fact, it is more about what a person doesn't wear that seems to count. Yes, the young still bathes and sometimes shaves, but that is about it. A t-shirt at Le Central or Bix, sure, why not? Show that dumb shit snob waiter in the tux who's got balls in the mouth. Clothes don't make the man anymore, right? Nor the woman. Everything is attitude and arrogance, especially the latter. And of course, the true gourmand is now the techie, who knows everything about food and drink and XML, and doesn't hesitate to make the latter subject of conversation over a pricey meal with a date, while the extensible markup language, XML, be a good subject of conversation at a conference at the Moscone Center on the internet, Oracle Open World, perhaps. The young man or woman may wonder why he or she is not scoring with his or her date in the open world of romance. But techie knowledge is not limited to just food. It applies to wine and cocktails and just about everything else imaginable. But you might fairly ask, who is this techie? Is he or she or it the same thing as what has been called a neo-yuppie 20-something Twitter twerp, or NYTSTT? Well, not exactly. The difference is that the NYTSTT may or may not be a techie. While the techie is presumed to have at least some knowledge of technology, the NYTSTT may have none at all. He or she or it may just be a consumer or user of internet communications products who sometimes tweets or sends short text messages using Twitter. Hey dude, Ashley is fucking awesome in bed. Pics later, Phil. But do not assume that the techie is necessarily a person who understands or creates technology. While the true technology innovator, who is a scientist or engineer, has deep understanding of technology, the techie has only superficial understanding and is engaged in creating electronic gadgets or gizmos for consumers using high-level programming languages that almost any office worker could figure out how to manipulate. Nevertheless, you might find either of these individuals at the best restaurants discussing the latest consumer electronic products, while even using one such product to contact other persons not actually present at the table. While in the past such people could be ignored, that is no longer possible now. That is because of the volume of their voices and the fact that they are broadcasting the non-present member of the conversation from a speaker on one of their devices. The late Ed Moose of the Washington Square Bar and Grill had a way of coping with this. He placed a handwritten note on every table that said, "Please turn off your cell phone and enjoy your meal." Imagine the laughter that such a note would receive these days. Who the fuck's Ed Moose? Gag, choke, giggle. Dude's totally not cool. But back to the techie or NYTSTT lunch or dinner, not only are these kids experts of sorts on smartphones and iPads and other handheld devices, they are also passionate gourmands and experts on food, cooking, wine, and cocktails, even though most have only been out of college a few years. It is amazing how a little knowledge can sometimes seem like so much. To be young again and not know what you don't know, to have many ignorant friends too, most with loud voices. Without them, you could never get away with such grand illusions about knowledge and sophistication. Have you ever noticed, for instance, that their waiter with a charming accent and manners is not French or Italian, but rather from Bolivia or Argentina? Do they ever peer into the kitchen and see that the entire kitchen staff is Mexican and looks like it is hiding out from the Border Patrol? Not likely. Yet these folks describe themselves as major foodies, whatever that means. And forget James Beard or Julia Child as a source of culinary knowledge. Ditto Dale DeGroff, king of the cocktail. What the fuck does that dude know? They are all old hat, like Bach, Beethoven, and Mozart. In the age of hip-hop enlightenment, they are oldies, not awesome, and way uncool to Generation Smug and Juvenile, or Smuggies.
All right, this brings us to Dee Breeze, which I am. They call me Dee Breeze.
That's a great song. I think I'll write that.
All right, I'm going to put my glasses on.
Oh, no.
Be prepared.
We always knew you were a
We'll be
classy
talking
guy.
to you two later on.
You're very
All right.
classy.
So these are all short. Thank God for small wonders, as my mom used to say. So this is called Morning Psalm. Exhausted, fallen away, the lime blossoms give all they can to be with us. So, these are for you. From the seventh garden, smell these special limes, fresh from the trees, blessed by the birds whose fleet song taper this summer's eve. Come, walk here with me until Venus rises over these hills. She'll unfold in the heavens as we watch. She'll embroider each flower and leave a morning song within each drop of dew. And my wife and I are going to go to a wedding, and I created a set of poems called the Wedding Set, so I'm not going to read all of them, I'm going to read two. This is called Everything, Everything, and it was written as you might think. And maybe that's too much information, but I do have the poem yet. Oh, sitting there talking to myself, and everybody's going, when is he going to start? Now. Everything, everything. Though love does abide, this revival set us aglow, as sweet spring air freshened in from our window. So above as motes caught in slant light were carried out, as below in idle embraced and found certain redoubt. You abed beside me with our timely spirit, replied to this life, deciding thus to cheer it. When, at rest in disarray, tumbled thoughts came to mind, we spoke through a sigh, claiming any common bind. And so those languorous afterglow dreams went a-wing, rose with our wishes lofting up to clouds for a flame. Oh, set aside the simple little mind and its torturous plays, and part those fanciful curtains onto love's yesterdays, where o'erspread are those pastoral scenes of storybook lore, wherein everyone so happily dwells, peaceful forevermore. See how that's good for a memorable wedding marriage scene. And I wondered about including this one, but I like it anyway. Airy fields of green. I will call to you as you'll call to me. When we've become departed, sure we'll say what's true about our love still new, though you lay beneath the green. Oh, it's always clear when true love is here that will open what we've started, neath clouds' finery spent in felicity, soft upon the downs of dreams. So, still, here are we, where we danced happily as we opened into time, and took to trails of fate over hills of time, along glistening springs of joy. So I'll call to you as you'll call to me, when we've become departed, and will say what's true, how our love's still new, though we lay beneath the green. Thank you. My heart thanks you, Mother.
All right. So thank you for Mr. D. Reeves there, and Richard Samarel with his device. Give him a round of applause as he comes up here to hold forth quartet.
Yes, there.
Here.
There. What?
Where here? Oh, I forgot I was going to sing this.
Where?
I'm going to sing a song at the break.
I got it.
I won't say anything right now. Be forewarned.
Don't sing today.
I just want to say, I was going to walk to end Alzheimer's, but I forgot.
All right.
I don't know if anybody knows, we are now in the sixth extinction, according to the scientists. For the last 2 years, they've been saying we're on the edge. Now they say we're in it. So I think I read a poem last week about it, but I have another one.
How many were you there for?
I was there for 4. That's why I know the dinosaurs have turned into birds.
Yeah.
I was there.
Tyrannosaurus are
You guys found out just recently, but I knew all along.
Not everyone believes it.
I know.
No, I know.
No. Can I make another
I
introduction?
don't think we went to the moon. No.
Well, they say there's now evidence that the dinosaurs, as you do the Tyrannosaurus, they had feathers. They were
Not everybody
Yeah, that's
believes
what
that.
Oh, in case everybody.
Well, not everyone. A lot of them had the feathers for like cooling and all this other kind of stuff.
We've had Tyrannosaurus skin for years. There's no feathers.
God, I think someone saw me.
I know.
All right, we can start.
They figured out the colors of the feathers. Now I'll shut up.
They say
They say
they
that.
say a lot of things.
Yes,
They also had.
Who the hell's that?
People
I
with
met him down the
computers.
street.
People with computers are eroding that branch of science. If they are.
They had cell phones.
Now, I'm sorry to go on. That was
Okay, Coyote watches. Coyote watches two-legged, observing them as they run around from place to place, buying things, needed, unneeded. Coyote sees two-legged making more mess than anyone or anything on our fair globe in its land, air, rivers, oceans. Then he sees the two-legged going to school, learning how to clean up their garbage piles of plastic chemicals. Coyote's always amazed at two-legged. They make all these messes, then they have to hire someone to clean it. Why make a mess in the first place? So Coyote thinks. Coyote hears the waters are rising, so he rises to higher ground in anticipation, since things are happening faster than thought. Don't want to get caught. Coyote is busy while two-legged enjoys the weather. He expands, gathering his nations in readiness for the two-legged's demise. Coyote watches Indian nations, who also knows the changes are upon us. He holds them close. He is their teacher, grandfather, and he has great love for them. He hopes he gave them enough. He roots for these two-legged. They are the ones who listen to Coyote, and the sixth extinction continues. So as you can see, I'm sort of in a Coyote mood lately. So I'm going to try to cease. So I'm going to try to pull back a little bit, but anyway, here's another one. Coyote and the Blue Angels. Coyote heard the Blue Angels were coming to San Francisco. Since Coyote is from out of town arriving from Jalisco, he's unaware what kind of angels these are. He found out when he saw Ed Lee, the Jeff of Mud, and Jeff. You know Mud as Newsom, same as the old scum. Ed is as happy as a pig in shit about all the money he's going to be made off the Empire's war machines, as all other mayors have. Oosums really do enjoy these war toys. They seriously love the war makers, especially when they can dazzle the Empire with these new killing machines. People come from everywhere. Coyote's trying to make sense, always fatal to Coyote's sanity. There seems a disconnect as to the tragedies of death and destruction these machines cause. It's as simple as a video game. Or maybe not. Maybe they get off on it. There is evidence of this. Coyote decides to dress as a sailor. Coyote heard women are once again love men in uniforms. Coyote never understood the two-legged's penchant for killing each other. He would watch as young lovers walking in crowds, loving but knowing in a heartbeat they would kill one another. There is glee and pride as they cheer when the warships pass the Golden Gate. The days of the big events are here. Crowds amass deep in good old Oosin pride.